Sahanau bhunaktu sahaviram karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om. In this 37th episode of Vision of Vedanta, we are looking into this text called Atma Bodha. Atma means I, Bodha means knowledge. Knowledge about who I am. In the 17th verse, Sada sarvagatopyatma na sarvatravabhasate buddhavevavabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. This Atma, this I, is Sada Sarvagataha. When we say I, it is a presence in a thought. You say, when you refer to I, it is actually a thought. But the Atma that we mention is the content of the I thought, which is all pervasive energy. It is everywhere. There is no one particular place where it is. It is in all places. Sada Sarvagataha Api Atma. This I is always present everywhere, but na sarvatra avabhasate. It does not shine in all places. It is not, avabhasate means you cannot experience it in all places. Buddhaveva avabhaseta. This I shines only in the buddhi. Buddhi means steady thought. The first thought when we wake up in the morning is I. Then only then you look at the time. This time I wanted to get up. This work I have to do. And I am feeling good, bad, everything comes later. But before everything, the I thought is there. Behind every thought, the I thought is there. The person who's thinking, it identifies itself with that thought. It is an I thought. Buddhaveva avabhaseta. This thought is manifest only in this consciousness. This Atma or I is manifest only in the buddhi. Like, for example, the sun's light is shining, and if you have gone by a plane and then you look on the bright fields down, you look on the earth down, your own city when the plane is taking off, or the city where you are landing, you could have seen this, that certain parts of the ground are shining, where a river is flowing, where there is a water body, in green fields where water is stagnating, or in buildings which have glass mirrors, the sun filter glass, big buildings which have glass mirrors, everything reflect the sunlight completely. Though the sunlight is reflected in all parts of the earth equally, only these glass surfaces and the water surfaces reflect the sunlight completely to a great deal, where you can see even from top. In the same way, though this consciousness is there everywhere, it is reflected only in the intellect. Intellect means thought. Basically, steady thought is intellect. The thought with which we do work, that's called intellect. Buddha eva avabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. Like the reflection in a very clean mirror, in the same way this I thought is reflected in the buddhi. The 18th verse, देहेन्द्रियमनो बुद्धिर् प्रकृतिभ्यो विलक्षणं तद्वृत्तिसाक्षिणं विद्यात् आत्मानं राजवत् सदा. This Atma, the other word to refer to the Atma is a single letter word. It is called I. Atma is equal to I. When we understand this equation alone very clearly, even whenever we say, whenever we talk, we say I eat, I sleep, or I slept, I feel, I think, I see, I hear. We use that word very often while speaking. Oh, I see, I see. I see means we're actually saying I understand. I see, I hear, I taste, I smell, I touch, I talk, I walk, I do work. Then I feel this way. I feel sad, I feel happy, I feel hungry, I feel thirsty, I feel good, I feel bad. So many words we use that word I. That I is Atma. It is as simple as that. We don't need to search for it anywhere. We don't need to search too much. It is available. It is with us. It is that I which we refer to. Deha means the body. Indriya means the sense organs in the body. The sense organs of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching. The sense organs of action, which are the mouth, the hands, the legs, the organ of reproduction, and organ of excretion. Deha Indriya Manaha. The mind is the faculty of knowledge which is combined with the five sense organs of perception, and this mind discriminates between I and mine. It keeps referring all the time, this is I, this is not I, this is mine, and this is not mine. This gives me joy, this gives me sorrow. These kinds of thoughts are entertained in the mind. These are the basic categories of thoughts under which the whole list, which is in the chitta, that's all in the mind. Indriya mana. Then buddhi is that thought which actually is the decision making thought which functions through the sense organs of perception and also gives directions to the sense organs of action. That is the buddhi. Buddhi, prakriti, and what exactly functions through the sense organs of action is prana. Prana means that energy, life force. This manas is the one that brings in the inputs. The buddhi is the one that decides on those inputs. And based on those decisions, it gives directions. The directions are carried out by the prana in tune with the sense organs of action. It's a very beautiful mechanism that happens in our body day in and day out. You can see it functioning. Prakritibhyo vilakshanam. This this deha indriya mano buddhi prakritibhyaha. These are all prakriti. Prakriti means sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna. Born out of this prakriti is deha, the body, indriya, the sense organs. Born of this prakriti is the mind. Born of this prakriti is the intellect. Vilakshanam, separate from that. Tat vritti sakshinam. It is a witness of the vrittis, the movements of the body, the prana, the mind, and the intellect. The I, the sakshi, is a witness to the movement of all these. Vidyat, that is the Atma, that is the I. And how does the Atma exist? Rajavat Sada. All the time, like a king, this Atma exists. Sada means at all times, Rajavat. It is shining. This Atma is present. And it is present like the king. The king is not getting down from his throne and going about here and there, running like a chicken, doing work. The king just sits in his throne and he looks around. The moment he looks around, all the people, the janitors, the gatekeepers, the servants, the ministers, the the dancers, the singers in the court, the poets, the musicians, everybody else, they do their work when the king is just there and looking around. In the same way, Atma or I is a king which just even doesn't look around. It is there. And in its present, the Deha, the body, the Indriya, the sense organs, the Manas and the Buddhi, the mind and the intellect, they all do their respective works in the presence of the Atma or I, which is sitting like a, which is neither sitting nor standing. It is present like the king. The 19th verse, व्यापृतेष्विन्द्रियेष्वात्मा व्यापारी वा विवेकिनां दृश्यते भ्रेषु धावत्सु धावन्निव यथा शशि. All of us as children would have observed this and would have been very, very surprised at how the clouds in the sky are running. Sorry, how the moon in the sky is running. Even I remember myself pointing out to my cousins and friends and sisters, everybody, hey, look at the moon, it's running in the sky. You know, why is the moon running? That's a beautiful example that Bhagwan Shri Adisankaracharya Bhashyakarya gives here. Vyapruteshu Indriyeshu Atma. Vyapruteshu means while functioning. What is functioning? Indriyeshu. These indriyas or the sense organs, when they are functioning, when eyes move, eyes are moving here and there. Ears are not moving, but the ability to hear and the different sounds that are here are changing all the time. The nose, different smells. The tongue, feeling different tastes. The skin is feeling different kinds of sense perceptions. Indriyeshu, vyaprateshu. When these sense organs are functioning, Atma, this I, the sense organs, behind the sense organs is the I. This is the Atma. It looks like a Vyapari. It looks like a trader trading with the world outside because the eyes are moving. We don't say the eyes are moving, the ears are listening, the nose is smelling. We don't say that. We say, I am seeing, I am hearing, I am tasting, I am smelling, I am touching, I am feeling. All these actions are, I am talking, I am holding, I am walking. We use the word I for everything. So this Atma or the I, actually the sense organs are functioning, but the Atma looks like a Vyapari. Vyapari means like a trader transacting with this world. For whom does it look like a Vyapari? For whom does the Atma or the I? When we say Atma, don't think we are talking about something else. We are talking about our own self, the I. For whom does the Atma look like a trader, suffering, exhausted, having a lot of things to do, doing so many things, achieving many things, achieving fame and glory. I got fame, I have to do so much work. I am having so many things on my head right now. Everything is overwhelming around me. So many expressions we have to refer to the different works that we do. That and we say I do for everything. Vyapari iva. For whom does it sound like that? Avivekinam. For the one whose intellect or the thought is very dull, where he does not know to distinguish between who am I and what is not I. That person is an aviveki. He does not have the capacity to distinguish between one and the other. Mainly the self and the not self is an aviveki. For the aviveki, for the one who does not have this sense of right distinguishing between who am I and what is not I, the Atma or the I appears to be doing so many things in this world, appears to be suffering, appears to be enjoying, appears to be being in bliss, appears to be achieving so many things, appears to be glorified, appears to be glorifying, appears to be worshipped, appears to be worshipping, appears to eat, appears to do work in the world. Vyapari iva avivekina. How is it? How does it look like? Drishyate abhreshu dhavatsu. We are looking at the moon in the night, the full moon, and the moon is thousands of kilometers away from us, from the earth. The clouds are very, very close to the earth, maybe 6 or 10 kilometers or 50 kilometers at least sometimes. Thick white clouds are there, and those clouds are moving by the wind. Because of the wind, the clouds are moving overhead. We are looking up and we don't see the clouds moving. Our attention is on the moon because the moon is very, very bright. The light of the moon falls on the clouds and filters through the clouds and reaches us. So we are attracted to the moon. We don't see the clouds in between. And the clouds are moving, we say the moon is running. The same way we also experience when we go by train. When we are in the moving train, we don't identify with the movement of the train because we are sitting in it, we are not moving, so we don't recognize the movement of the train. But in contrast to that movement of the train forward, we identify with the trees on the platform, on the other side, on the other side of the track. We see the trees. Actually, the train is moving, but all children, if you see when they sit on the window of the train, window, they occupy the window seat of the train. They will be looking out. They will call their parents and tell, "See, the trees are running. Trees are running." Trees are not running behind. They are steady. The train is moving forward, and so the trees are appearing to run. In the same way, the Atma is steady, the sense organs are moving, the body, mind, and intellect are functioning. They are all functioning and they are in some action or the other. So when we see through the body, mind, and intellect, we feel like as if the Atma or the I is doing, seeing, tasting, smelling, touching, walking, talking, enjoying, suffering. So many things we attribute to the thinking, feeling, all these things we attribute to the I. Dhavan niva yatha shashi. Shashi means moon. Dhavan means as if running. The clouds are moving. The moon appears to be running. In the same way, the sense organs, body, mind, and intellect are working, are moving, are functioning. The Atman is still and steady. It is giving the life support to everything else, but it looks to people like as if the Atman is doing everything. We don't say the Atman is doing. Instead of that, the common usage we have is I am doing, I am working, I am thinking, etc. 20th verse. Atma Chaitanyamashritya Dehendriya Manodhiyaha Swakriyartheshu Vartante Surya Lokam Yatha Janaha. Atma Chaitanyam Ashritya. Holding on to this reflection of consciousness, Atma Chaitanya, this body, Indriya, the sense organs, the manas, the mind, and the intellect, the thought, the steady thought, they're all doing their own work. Swakriyartheshu vartante. They're all moving towards their goal. What are their goals? The thought is thinking and executing. The mind is discriminating between I and mine. What is I and what is not I? What is mine and what is not mine? It protects all the I's and minds, and it rejects all the not I and not mine. Then it goes after what all it loves. It rejects and goes away from what all it hates. This is the work of the mind. And then the indriyas, the eyes see, the ears hear, the nose smells, the tongue tastes, and the skin feels, the mouth talks, the hands grasp, the feet walk, the organ of excretion is excreting, the organ of reproduction is reproducing. Swakriyartheshu vartante. They are doing their work. How are they doing their work? Surya alokam yatha janaha. Very, very beautiful. I get, whenever I hear this name Surya, I am something sparks in me because I'm staying in this beautiful temple called Chinmaya Surya, we have the Surya Bhagavan, Surya Narayana Bhagavan with the 7 horses. So, like the sun, Surya Alokam, in the morning when it is 5:30 or 5:45, especially when you go to villages in the cities, you see people are still sleeping and lazily they may wake up at 6:30 in the morning or even 7. But even as the sun is breaking into dawn, Surya Alokam, when the sun is merely present in the sky, people start doing their work in the morning. They keep their alarm, they wake up, they take their bath, they sweep the front portion of the house, they pour water, they sprinkle water very well. They put this kolam or nice rangoli in front of the house, and then they go in and they water the plants. They make their tea and coffee. They drink their tea and coffee. Then they have their breakfast. Then they go about the work. Farmers will be in their fields working. People who have gardens will be walking, watering the gardens. People who go for walk will be walking in the morning. Whatever work we have, we start doing. Surya alokam yatha janaha. The sun is just watching. The sun rises and it is available. Its energy is present everywhere. Everybody is active and doing their work. The sun is not going around telling, now come on, you open the door, you sprinkle your portico area, you apply kolam, you put kolam, you go and cook inside the kitchen. The sun does not come and tell everybody to do things every day. The sun is just available. If we don't open our window, we won't even know that the sun is there. It doesn't even knock at our doors. It doesn't even find a way through the crevices and gaps and take a U-turn or a right turn to fall into our eyes to know to make us know its presence. It is just shining, and wherever it is available, it enters. Wherever the path of the sunlight is there, it enters. But you know, the sun and the moon, it is normally available for people, and if you don't see the sun and the moon at the times when they are there, you may miss. But if you're really very very devoted, people who worship the sun, people who worship the moon, they worship the moon as a mother, they worship the moon as a guru. For those people, the sun and the moon, they begin to interact. For example, this place where I am giving my talks on YouTube, it is a very, very unlikely place for me to see the moon. One of these days, it was recently after Paurnami or something, the moon is full, or yeah, maybe it's going towards Paurnami. Recently, it was Chaturthi on Shankatahara Chaturthi recently. The moon was somewhat full, and I was on this in this place listening to some Zoom program by somebody, and I am in this room. The door is open. I am just turning around, just outside. The window is far away, and there is no proximity or possibility for me to see the moon. In this position, I have never seen. In that small gap, that moon is there like a big ball of light. I just looked out. I would have closed the door, but I was so surprised. How come the moon is giving me darshan? It is just that if you are really in tune with nature, if you love nature, these kinds of magic and miraculous experiences can happen sometime. So, the sun, I'm coming to this point, people do their work when the sun is out in the morning, without the sun telling them anything or prodding them to do or urging them to do. The very presence of the sun, everybody get up and go about their activities. In the same way, by the very presence of the Atman, all the body, mind and intellect, every part of the body, mind and intellect go around and do their activities. The 21st verse, देहेन्द्रिय गुणान् कर्माणि अमले सच्चिदात्मनि अध्यसन्त्य विवेकेन गगने नीलतादिवत्. देह, इंद्रिय, मनः, बुद्धिः. Sorry, deha, indriya, gunani, karmani. 4 things. Deha means body. Indriya means senses. Senses are placed in the body. Gunani is the sattva guna. Rajoguna and Tamoguna, and all the baby qualities of these three gunas. Many, many different qualities we have. Millions and millions of qualities are there which flow from the Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Karmani are actions, the actions that we do. All of them, all these four, in that Amala Satchit Atmani. Amala means pure, no mala. It's free from all purity. Sat means reality. Reality means life. What is the difference between reality and everything else? Reality is something that is real. For all of you, this YouTube, the screen, my appearance is not completely reality. But for me, sitting here, I experience reality of my presence because I don't experience it like the YouTube screen that you all see. So that's the difference between real and unreal. Real means yes, it is here, there is life, and it is functioning. That is real. Unreal is all the images that we see is unreal. Amale, Sat. Sat means real. Chit means consciousness. That whatever is real, that life is aware. It is just lending its awareness to everything else. Chit, that is. Atmani is I. In that Satchit Atman, in that self, in the I, which is very real. All of us are real. When you say, are you real? You will get angry when I ask. Yes, of course I am real. What do you mean? How can you say I am unreal? We are real because reality is there inside. That is Sat. Chit is consciousness. I am conscious. I know that I am existing. Somebody asks me, are you there? You say, yes, I am there. How do you know you are there? What do you mean? I know I am here. That is what is the work of Chit. Because that I knows. Chit. Atmani, the Atman, the self, in that self. But what happens is, the Atman is real, the Atman is conscious, this body, the senses, the qualities, and the actions are not conscious. They are objects of consciousness, but they seem to be superimposing themselves on this I, which is conscious, which is aware, adhyasanti avivekena. By who? By people who do not have that right ability to distinguish between who am I, what is real and what is unreal, who am I and what is not I. If that ability is not there, they will superimpose the body on the I and say, I am the body. They will superimpose the senses on the I and say, I see, I hear, I taste, I smell, I touch. I speak, I walk, I talk, everything they say. They superimpose the qualities. I am brilliant, I am stupid, I am dull, I am angry, I am sad, I am depressed, I am excited, I am exhilarated, I am hungry, I am thirsty. All these qualities are superimposed on the I. Karmani, I am doing this work, this rasam was made by me, this chocolate cake was made by me. Me means I. This flower vase was made by me. This rangoli was put by me. This makeup was done by me. This sari was tied by me. For all the work that this room was swept by me. This room was cleaned by me. We use the word I for everything. Because of what? Because of aviveka. We are not actually distinguishing that very subtle difference between the I and the sense organs, the body, the mind, the karmas, and the actions and the gunas. How gagane neelatadivat. In the sky is colorless, but we superimpose blue color on the sky. The sky is shapeless, formless, but we superimpose a dome shape on the sky. How does that superimposition happen? Gurudev, very beautifully, he makes a remarkable observation. If that observation is applied in our thoughts, we can be successful in whatever we do. We can create our own reality. That observation is so beautiful. The objects observed gather to themselves the properties of the medium through which we observe. It's a very profound statement. It requires a lot of unpacking. And when we really, I've taken, when I was going through this, I made a note of this and I've written it down in a sheet of paper for me to memorize and remember and work it out. It is a mathematical thing that we can work out with our thoughts. What does it do? It can do wonders in our life. This statement alone. The objects observed. For example, I am observing an object. This is an object observed. I am observing this water bottle. Actually, I am not observing this water bottle. I am observing the thought of this water bottle reflected in my mind through the eyes. How does the reflection happen? This light in the room is falling on the water bottle. That light is reflecting, it's bouncing off the water bottle. So the bouncing light from this water bottle falls on my eyes and is registered in the mind. The mind registers the shape of the water bottle and the contents of the water bottle by the bouncing light in the mind, right? So this water bottle is a thought in my mind. The objects observed means the thought observed. The thought of this water bottle in my mind, what does it do? It gathers to itself the properties of the medium through which we observe it. I am observing this water bottle thought in my mind. The mind is the medium through which I observe that thought. If that mind is agitated, that water bottle thought will be agitated. If that mind is calm, the water bottle thought will be calm and steady, and it will reveal its true nature to me. It is a game changer. The sentence is a game changer in our life. So, to put it very, very simply, whatever object I observe, which means it can be an object, it can be a person, it can be a situation. Whether it's an object, whether it is a person, or whether it is a situation, when I observe it, I am actually observing the thought in my mind. And that thought in my mind absorbs the properties of the medium through which I am observing that thought. What is the property of the medium through which I observe the thought? That medium or the mind in which the thought is, the mind can be sattvic, meaning it can be calm, it can be quiet, it can be composed, it can be alert, it can be alive with wisdom, calmness. The mind can be disturbed with rajas. The mind can be anxious with anxieties. The mind can be agitated with desires. The mind can be dull with sleepiness. The mind can be dull with non-understanding. So many qualities are there in the mind. Now this water bottle thought in my mind absorbs those qualities. That's what the sentence. The objects observed, the thought observed in my mind, gathers to itself the properties of the medium through which we observe it. So we observe the thought gathers the properties, and it is shining with that property. So when I see like this, and the mind is also agitated, this water bottle thought will will be agitated in my mind. I will not be able to see it very clearly. If suppose this water bottle is here and my mind is very calm, the thought of this water bottle in my mind absorbs that calmness and radiates that calmness, and I will get a calm feeling by just observing that water bottle. In that same way, if I feel very dull, I feel very tired, the water bottle thought is there in my head. It absorbs that tiredness, that quality of tiredness, that property of tiredness, the thought absorbs it. And then the consciousness radiates the thought of tiredness with that water bottle, which is actually irrelevant. The tiredness is here, the thought is only the bottle. It's a standard basic thought. But because of this quality of absorption of the property from the medium by the object, this mind is going through so many different kinds of experiences like disturbance, anger, hatred, jealousy. This water bottle can be anybody or anything. This water bottle can be replaced by a person. Just imagine I like somebody or I don't like somebody. Maybe I don't like somebody. We'll take that example. I don't like somebody, and that somebody is present before me, and the thought of that somebody is there. The thought of that person in my head will absorb the property of dislike, and the thought will radiate that property of dislike. And the more I witness that dislike, the more I will dislike, and the more the thought is observed. So hatred keeps increasing for that person. If it is a person that I love very much, I look at that person's thought appears in my mind. I have love for that person, that thought of that person in my mind absorbs that feeling of love, radiates that feeling of love. In that light of consciousness, that love is shining. That shining love reflects more love on me, and I generate more love. It absorbs more love, and that love intensifies because it is that quality in me which that thought is absorbing. And so we need to be very careful about what are the qualities that we generate inside us when we look at objects, when we look at people, and when we look at circumstances. As I said, this single line can be a game changer in our life. Just so that you want to contemplate on it, I'll read it again slowly. The objects observed gather to themselves the properties of the medium through which we observe. It is like one of the laws of motion, Newton's three laws of motions. Like that, this is a law of the mind. The objects observed, I observe, maybe even this laptop I can take. I observe this laptop. This laptop, the screen is a thought in my mind. That thought in my mind absorb, because every thought in the mind is enlivened by consciousness. When there is consciousness in something, that object becomes live. It is like a doll which can be where the battery is turned on. When the battery is not turned on, the doll is still. But when the battery is turned on, the doll gets that temporary ability to move and talk and do everything. In the same way, this object outside is inert. But when this object comes inside through my eyes and is present as a thought within, it is enlivened by consciousness and it becomes alive in my head. The objects observed gather to themselves the properties of the medium through which we observe. This is it has touched me so deeply, this sentence, that I'm contemplating, I'm applying this like a mathematical equation to everything that I need to do. And then I'm seeing miraculous results already in this whole process in just a few moments. So, if we want in our life, this is a sutra that we can apply in our life. when we want to achieve our goal. For example, if I want to do something, that what I want to achieve, I want to conduct a beautiful program tomorrow. What I want to achieve is a goal in my mind. That goal is a thought in my mind, and that thought absorbs the properties of the medium. So, what are the properties of the medium is the mind? What are the properties I should generate? I should generate properties like the program is happening beautifully, people are participating with a lot of interest in the program, everything is going on as per schedule, everything is going on neatly, everything is going on smoothly, everybody who participates in the program gets the best out of it and goes back home with peace of mind. Whatever really we want to achieve through that program, I bring it out as thoughts. This goal in my mind as a thought for tomorrow's program absorbs all these qualities, and then it shines by itself. It functions like a devata, it functions like a divine being, and from akaradi shakaranta, from A to Z of tomorrow's program, everything happens so smoothly because of this single thought. It makes everybody work, it makes everybody participate beautifully, it brings in all the resources, it makes everybody arrange everything properly, it makes everybody be on time, it makes everybody get their doubts clarified, it makes everybody do whatever work they need to do on time, and it makes everybody do everything in such a way with clockwork precision that the program happens beautifully and everybody is very happy. The people who coordinated, the people who participated, the people who helped, the people who assisted, the people who thought about it, the people who blessed the program, everybody is benefited as a result of it. So, this is the power of that sentence. We can apply it in our day to day life wherever we can. That is, it is very simple. I have a thought in my head. The thought in my head absorbs the qualities that I generate. And so, I should generate great qualities, good qualities, that the thought will absorb that and it will execute it in that manner, which will achieve success in whatever I want to do. So we will conclude here. We will begin again tomorrow. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasorma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेवा। हरि ओम।